Hi, Natalia. Welcome to the UK AI Women in AI podcast. I'm Zara, your host today, and I'm so delighted that you could join us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on the podcast.
Natalia, I'd like you to introduce yourself to our viewers right now who are watching, and share a bit about yourself, please.
Great, thank you. So my name is Natalia. I'm originally Polish. I moved to UK probably 12 years ago, so I don't know if I can call myself Polish anymore. I work as a business director at Push. Push is an AI-driven digital agency focusing on digital space and marketing. And we use AI to help everything that we do and teach our clients about it. So my role is really to help our clients grow, hit their targets, expand their businesses, but also to help our teams internally to embrace AI and the structures that we use.
That's great. Would you describe your career path? How did you choose to get into marketing and then into AI? What is it that inspired you?
So I'm probably a little bit different to most people because I actually got my little spark quite early on. Because I moved countries, I ended up doing international baccalaureate for my high school. And I, by accident, essentially ended up in a business class. And that's kind of where it all started. Um, but before I kind of ended up in an agency side, I worked on a client side and I had a wonderful experience working with Johnson and Johnson. I work in the brand team for Nicorette, and just the breadth of experience and the variety of different things I learned really cemented my decision that that was the world I was meant to be in. So I got very, very excited. I learned so much. And frankly speaking, I still lean on that experience every single day as an agency person. But then, I wanted something a little bit quicker and something with even more variety, even more speed. And so I started working in an agency. I started at the very bottom. So I actually started with a paid social team as an exec and kind of grew my way up there. So now as a business director, I have opportunity to work with so many different brands, so many different variety of different things and channels. And yeah, it gives me a spark every day.
That's amazing. What would you say, it sounds like you've described a lot of your highlights. What are some of the challenges that you encountered, and how did you resolve those challenges?
I think when my career started, speaking very openly, I think being a woman and a foreigner within the business world in the UK has been slightly challenging. I don't think I'm, by myself in this challenge. I think there's a lot of people who probably share that. I think women have this amazing ability to be incredibly strong and decisive at the same time being very emotionally driven and very empathetic. And I think sometimes, especially in businesses that are male dominated, can be taken the wrong way and taken as a disadvantage in terms of a strength that we genuinely do have. But frankly speaking, I think perseverance and finding the business that appreciates you and your qualities is really what helped me. I think over the past few years that has definitely changed, and I think more and more strong women who showcase all of those varieties of skills are more and more appreciated. Currently, I think the biggest challenge that I have is myself. I'm a very structured person. I have a little bit, I'm on the spectrum of OCD, so I struggle sometimes with change. And I think a lot of people within this industry sometimes, encourage for us to learn more and be ahead of everything and learn new stuff. And sometimes it's very hard to change the way you're working. So I think sometimes I create challenges for myself by not being as driven to make changes. But I also know that it's something that I need to work on, and being in an environment that forces me to do that and keep up to date with things and make changes to the way I think is really, really helpful for the personal growth, I guess.
That's amazing. You also mentioned that you really are focused on trying to give back as well. what are some of the initiatives that you're currently working on, projects, and your future plans?
Great, thank you. Yes, definitely. I've always been really excited at teaching and, passing on mentoring and coaching. It started off by just coaching the team that I managed, but very quickly we started coaching people outside. So we've done some really big projects in the US and in other markets, really, really helping people understand what we do and what the best practices are. And the biggest project that we're working on right now is AI related. So we're really trying to make sure that we bringing AI closer to people's minds and where, front of their mind, and making it accessible. I think still there is a lot of fear when it comes to AI, especially fear of losing a job or fear of what is it going to do to someone's employment. And what we're trying to do is really educate why AI, if used responsibly, if used to your advantage, can actually enhance your skills, can be something that can help you grow. And that AI is just a tool. It's not gonna, walk away and do things by itself. It's as good as we use it. And so we're really trying to build the workshops and learn people. I think that's kind of short-term future for us is ensuring that everyone that we speak to speaks the same language, feels comfortable and confident using the LLM systems that are out there. We're also working internally on building a full infrastructure within the teams that we can share with our clients and with anyone who's interested in how they can build, let's say, a little library that they can refer to at any single point of time, whether things change, whether their clients move around, whether this staff goes on maternity leave. All of that knowledge is there, and it makes things much more accessible for people coming back to work, for example, if they're off sick or maternity leave. So this is really like our little project that we're working on, trying to make sure that everyone feels comfortable with AI and feels really strongly about it and not kind of reduce the fear of it. Yeah.
That's really, really good to know that you're doing that. If people who are interested in, learning more about this initiative, getting, in touch with you, how can they do that?
Oh, there's so many different ways. I'm really, really welcoming everyone to connect with us on LinkedIn. I am actually the only person by that name so far on LinkedIn, so it's easy to find me. But whether that's connecting with me directly or connecting with us, push group on LinkedIn, equally dropping us an email. We are always easily to connect on the website. So many different ways, and we all always looking forward to speaking to new people.
And also, what would you say about, tips and advice for women who want to follow in your footsteps?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it the other day. I think don't be afraid to try things. Don't be afraid to challenge and push back. I think a lot of us are still a little bit worried, especially when we're starting a new job, to maybe come across as someone who's a bit challenging. But I think challenging can be constructive, if done in the right way. So I think don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to have an opinion, to try stuff. But more importantly, stay up to date and make sure that you always keep up with things that are changing. When I started my first job many years ago, I was attending onboarding for Johnson and Johnson, and there was a very, very senior position lady that spoke, and she said something that really, really stayed with me, and it's something that I refer to still to this day. She essentially said, not every single role that you take throughout your career will be your dream job. Not every single thing will be something that sparks your imagination and makes you, excited and stay at night and thinking about it. But it's up to you to make it exciting. It's up to you to make every single role yours. And I'll be honest, when I joined Nicorette, and I'm not a smoker, I've never smoked in my life, and it's not something that I hope to do anytime. I really struggled. I didn't know where to start and I didn't know how I could get excited about this job. But hearing her say that made me realize that it's all in my control. Um, and so I made it work and I became the biggest advocate for Nicorette after this day. Anyone who smokes, I always tell them to try Nicorette. So that's what I'm trying to get to is don't think about the job not being something that you don't want it to be. Make it the most exciting things, the most rewarding thing you want to be working on. That's the advice I would give everyone.
Very good advice.
Thank you.
Yes, you're right. It is all about the making the most of, even if it's a bad experience, you learn resilience, you
Yeah.
know, and you learn what not to do if you were in that situation. So yes, that's very, very good advice. Um, what do you think about the next 5 to 10 years? How do you see yourself? Um, do you see yourself doing what you're doing in the future as well, or do you think you'll be expanding your contribution? What is your uh, vision?
Oh, I'm finding that the world right now moves so fast. You try to imagine yourself in 10 years and you suddenly realize that this is happening in 3 months. It nearly feels like that. I think my future is going to be exciting. I think it's going to be very AI driven. I think I would like to think that I'm still working in the same industry, thinking about businesses, thinking about how I can make those small differences now that will transpire to bigger things, whether that's influencing, the people that I work with or the customers that they help. I think the difference will be that we will be probably a bigger company. We will probably have even more exciting clients that we have now. Um, Maybe living abroad, with some offices abroad, more than we have currently. Um, and I think there's a lot of things that are probably unknown for now. AI came out of the corner. Probably a lot of us could have expected it, really, but a lot of us were still surprised. And I think that's exactly what to expect from the future is the unexpected. It's the excitement that comes with that, but also being ready to make the changes when needed and quickly jump on them. So I try not to I try not to have a strict plan, because I know that it will change because it has changed so much over the past few years. Yeah.
Great. What's your experience been of UK AI? I know you're part of it. What do you like about it, and what do you think they should develop further?
Definitely. Yes, we've been a member for quite a while now, which was very exciting when we joined. I believe we were the only agency at the start to join the organization, which was very exciting. What I love about it is the fact that it brings a lot of different people together, just the variety of different businesses, different experiences. It's really exciting to see how many people are on board with talking about those issues because those are the issues that will affect generations to come, and it is a big topic. I like the fact that there's so many events and webinars, and they're open to every single member at any point. I hope to be part of them even more as they come. But it's quite exciting to be able to tell other businesses that we're part of that group, that we're part of making the change, that we're part of the discussion. And it's not something that is happening to us, it's something that we're also driving as part of the group. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So glad to hear that positive feedback. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the viewers?
I think the only thing I would say is I think a lot of us have been discussing over the past years about how generations are changing. And I think there's been the past few years where there was a lot of expectations from everyone. I would call it like a expectation economy. Everyone is expecting something from someone else. we're expecting a lot of things from our employers. We're expecting our team members to do certain things, and there's just constant expectation. I think when I started originally, it was slightly different. It was the excitement, the curiosity, and I'm really hoping that the shift that we're going through with AI will really reinvigorate that back. So we're gonna have much more curiosity, much more self-reliance, much more independence, and just that hunger for knowledge. And instead of expecting for someone else to do something, a lot of people will jump on the wagon and try to do it themselves. And I'm seeing that shift in our organization quite a lot. But I'm really hoping that it's going to be a bigger change and it's just a start. And that as we kind of move along with that, it's going to become a new generation. And you know, all of the generations to come will become more excited and more eager to make changes and faster with that. I'll be quite excited to see what that looks like in the future, to be honest.
Thank you so much, Natalia. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you and to hear about your vision and all the wonderful things that you're doing. Wish you
Thank
all.
you so much.